Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that the future of the Star Wars franchise seems to be quite expansive, not just with their books, novels, comics, and video games, but also, let's not forget about their new Star Wars TV shows, their new Star Wars movies, and other projects currently in the works by, of course, Disney, Lucasfilm, Bob Iger, Bob Chapek, you name it, and exactly what's really coming our way for the next couple of years of the overall Star Wars brand. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about Disney Star Wars is that we do know that they are now in a transitionary phase. We are seeing these major changes behind the scenes over at Lucasfilm. By the way, The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 1, fantastic. They did an amazing job. I'm sure that you guys know exactly why it was so exciting at the very end. I won't say anything, but I'm sure that you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. So obviously, Star Wars is on the right path by really diving more into what the Star Wars fans want to see at home on a streaming service, or what they want to go ahead and see on the big screen, be it a trilogy or a spin-off film at that. Now, one thing about Lucasfilm is that we do know that Kathleen Kennedy, unfortunately, is still supervising the Leslie Headland Star Wars TV series. You know, thankfully, that's the only TV show that she is in charge of as we speak. So, let that sink in for a moment, is that she's only working on one TV show. The rest is all going to be done by, you know, Bob Chapek, the new Disney CEO, pretty much running everything over at Disney, everything Marvel, Star Wars, and more. But you really have George Lucas, Jon Favreau, and Dave Filoni at the end of the day taking care of the Star Wars franchise, giving the fans what they want to see, either in the form of movies and or TV shows, be it animated or live action form. So, with the Skywalker saga now over, both Disney and Lucasfilm are primarily focused on their new Star Wars universe in order to create a better and brighter future for the Star Wars franchise. However, it's explained that as of right now, both Bob Iger and Bob Chapek are indeed developing many new Star Wars projects for Disney Plus alone, in order to make Star Wars the best it can be. However, recently Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy has been very busy with the Leslie Headland Star Wars TV series for Disney Plus, so that she can create her own mini-verse, if you will, in the new Star Wars era that fans will witness in 2022. Now, however, though Brie Larson is said to become a part of Star Wars, she was initially attached to another major project that was going to be huge on Disney Plus. This project was going to be a spin-off series of Brie's character named Maeve that was going to dive into the worlds between worlds and the origin of this mysterious realm for the Star Wars fans to witness, and would actually change many aspects that were originally created by Dave Filoni. Now, also, it's noted that actress Brie Larson was fired from that Star Wars project by creator George Lucas and the Disney CEO Bob Chapek for multiple new reasons that are now coming to light. One of the major reasons as to why Brie Larson was fired from the project involved the fact that Brie Larson wanted to have some popular Star Wars Legends characters inserted and gender swapped into this new Star Wars TV series. Now, let's stop right here for a second. This is very familiar because this is actually very similar to what Kathleen Kennedy was going to do with her version of the Old Republic TV series on Disney Plus. We talked about this a number of weeks ago, is that there was a point in time in which Kathleen Kennedy wanted to create her own version of the Old Republic era that was actually going to have characters like Darth Revan, for example, gender swapped, going from a male to a female. To me, obviously, that would have been a disaster in the making. It's a complete train wreck. It's out of this question unnecessary and just doesn't make sense. So for Brie Larson to also, be in support of this, and also Leslie Headland being in support of this, it just goes to show that they really don't care about the Star Wars characters at the end of the day. The characters that a lot of hardcore fans, have known and loved since the 90s and the 2000s. So the fact that this show, this spin-off series of Brie's character named Maeve, was going to be modeled after a Star Wars Legends character that would be gender swapped, I don't know about you guys, but obviously I think that this would have been probably worse than The Last Jedi's backlash. I really do believe that. I actually still believe that the Leslie show is going to have a bigger backlash than The Last Jedi, but I digress. So, apart from all of this, moving further, alright, now, it's also explained that writer, Leslie Headland and Kathleen Kennedy were indeed on board with Brie Larson's idea to gender swap popular characters from Star Wars Legends, and that George Lucas was not happy about any of this at all. This is where George decided to take things up with Bob Chapek to change the series and to prevent Kathleen Kennedy from wrecking his popular characters. Initially, Brie Larson wanted to even become one of the popular Star Wars Legends male characters that would be gender swapped as a woman in the new series, and that this is what led Brie Larson to losing her role as Maeve in her own spin-off TV series. So, let me just actually focus on this for a second here, is that Brie Larson, I don't know about you guys, if you guys like her or dislike her as an actress, but one thing that I think a lot of people will agree on, be it if you're a Marvel fan or just a, overall person that knows Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, is that she really is what you would call an overly demanding actress and what she wants to be portrayed as, in particular movies such as Captain Marvel and Captain Marvel 2. Now, this obviously is the next level, because this is really next level material, because this is actually ignoring what George Lucas created and even allowed to happen many years ago when it came to Legends, right? Legends is golden. I mean, it's amazing. And to mess with Star Wars Legends, it's like messing with the Star Wars fans, at least in my opinion. At the end of the day, when we look at Star Wars overall, you gotta stick with the philosophy by George Lucas and what he actually really made Star Wars out to be. That's exactly how Star Wars fans perceive Star Wars. They view it as a very once positive franchise that George created, and now we're in a scenario, where of course we have Leslie Headland, Kathleen Kennedy, and Brie Larson being very overly demanding when it comes to, things such as this new Star Wars TV series on Disney+. Now, obviously, one of the shows that Brie was disconnected from was this animated one that was going to focus on her character. Now, her character, Maeve, was going to have a own TV show that obviously wouldn't have worked for a lot of fans out there. This was actually going to be modeled after a popular Star Wars Legends character. But anyways, I move on. Brie Larson is best described to have been very aggressive with the creators over at Lucasfilm for the Leslie Headland Star Wars TV show and what it stands for, and that Bob Chapek eventually agreed with Lucas that this would be a disaster in the works and would only wreck the franchise further down the road. Brie Larson is also said to have been fired from the project since she also wanted to destroy the philosophy of George Lucas's work on Star Wars, and that Leslie Headland was actually in support of this path by Brie Larson. Now, Brie is described to be an aspiring director or a writer, and has been trying to lay this on Leslie Headland more so for the Star Wars TV show for Disney+. So once again, this is also an outlet for Brie to actually express her overall, take on how writing and directing should be done, and what she wants to see in this new Star Wars franchise, or this new Star Wars universe, if you will. Overall, I'm very glad that we actually got a chance for Bob Chapek and George to really team up and bring this project to an end. But keep in mind that she's still working on the main Leslie Headland Star Wars TV series that's going to be in live action form. The one that, of course, was actually going to be a thing was going to be in animated form. That was all going to be about Brie Larson's character, Maeve, overall. So, moving past this, Brie is described to be an aspiring director, like I say, and writer. And not just that, but also Brie Larson wanted to break the traditions of Star Wars by making her own show feel like a brand new series that would have no similarities to what George Lucas had created years ago. This major change by Lucasfilm was to also give the fans hope about the future by letting go of Brie Larson and her ideas that Leslie Headland was supporting, which would have created more damage overall. So once again, guys, Brie Larson, I think that she obviously doesn't care about what George Lucas has to offer, and that this is yet again another piece of proof that Kathleen Kennedy overall has an agenda when it comes to Star Wars. There's no doubt about it at all whatsoever. So yeah, guys, like I've said before in the past, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to morning.